Hello, welcome to another episode of Program Breakdown. This one's probably not going to be as intricate as the other ones. I don't imagine there's going to be many volume charts. The program we're going to look at today is starting strength, just the original version, not the which stuff falls method or one of the later programs. Practical strength training addresses some of the issues that we're going to pull up in this review. Well, I guess it's a review. They started off as being like an explanation of how programs work, but some of these programs, there's no real explanation to be had. It's more just a review of the program because the loader patterns are so simple. There's no variation. There's nothing to show. It's just lifting weights in a manner. Last one we did was West Side, so I guess this is another one of the sacred cows on the internet. It's popular because it's popular. The book, by all accounts, is pretty good. I've not actually read it, I'm going to be honest. I don't actually intend to read it because I don't think I'll learn anything. The program, pretty straightforward. You got workout A and workout B. It's a 3 workout a day week. So the idea is you go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. You should always have a day off between each workout. I'm not entirely sure if I recommend you take the weekend off or you just go day on, day off, day on, day off. So the idea would be if you were to do A workout, B workout, C workout, or sorry, there's no C workout. If you do A workout, B workout, A workout, the alternative week would be BAB. So I guess that's some kind of variation. Workout A, 3 sets of 5 on squat, no indication of intensity. Bench press, 3 sets of 5, no indication on intensity. Deadlift, 1 set of 5, no indication on intensity. Workout B, 3 sets of 5 on squat, 3 sets of 5 on press, 5 sets of 3 on power clean. And that's about it. Not really a lot to explain. Right, let's have a look at the pros and the cons. Pros: squat, deadlift, bench. Can't really go too wrong if your program has squat, deadlift, and bench press in it, and overhead press, of course. It's probably the one thing, especially just for novices, as in total beginners, is simple and easy to grasp. You don't have to get your head around what a 1RM is, what a percentage is. You don't have to worry about too much sets and reps. You don't have to worry about why you're doing 10s versus why you're doing 3s. You don't have to worry about why you're doing 6 sets of 3 this week, 6 sets of 4, 6 sets of 5, what volume is, what relative intensity is. You don't have to actually appreciate what the program behind it is. If you don't have a coach who you trust who's putting together your programs, and then variation will be questioned, probably undoubtedly. So since there's no variation, there's not really a lot to question. It makes it very easy for a beginner to get their head around. And the way Mark Ripto communicates is also very cut and dry, which is great for getting across to people, and especially getting across to beginners, because it just gives them a clear mission statement, what they're here to do, which resonates obviously a lot with people, because it's a very popular program. And it's a great base for powerlifting. You're doing the 3 competitive lifts. Squat 3 times a week, bench twice a week, or at least twice and 1 time a week, and deadlift once a week. So if you want to use this as your first powerlifting program, or if you're complete or novice, and you want to get into powerlifting, then you could probably do a lot worse than do a program that's got all 3 of the lifts in it. Obviously, the book Starting Strength goes into much more detail as regarding form. I know he's got a huge, he's got a chapter on squat, chapter on deadlift, chapter on bench press, what you should do, why you should do it, and a rationale behind what he's talking about, regardless of what you think of that rationale. So the pros. Cons: there are no pull-in movements whatsoever. Again, it was addressed later in practical program for strength, but not having any pull-in movements in your program, it's just a bit silly. Power clean for a novice, no. It's not a novice movement. Power clean without coaching is very difficult to learn, especially in the early days of the internet when there wasn't so much YouTube around, or there wasn't resources like Cathletics or Glenn Penley's YouTube channels, and now we got even better instruction in the form of like mass strength camps, Chinese weightlifting system with Chinese weightlifters going around, clock offs going around, like Russian weightlifters are going around. Actual good weightlifters are starting to be available for CPD, so it's a lot more feasible to learn the power clean than it was probably 10 years ago if you're a beginner trying to get into lifting. But anyone who's an intermediate, or anyone who's even tried to do power clean with any kind of technique, understands how complicated a movement it is. It takes years to become proficient at cleaning. It's not a novice movement, so not really a good program to be included in a novice program, in my opinion. Of course, just my opinion. Exercise variation is non-existent. There's no overhead squatting, no front squatting, no lunging, no single leg variations, no pulling variations, no incline bench press, no decline bench press, no dumbbell pressing, no dumbbell rowing, no rowing of any manner. There's no abdominal exercises, there's no lower back exercises, there's no general muscular conditioning exercises. Loading pattern is non-existent. It's just flat fives. So the idea is that you basically do the weight till you can complete the sets and reps, if I'm understood, or if I'm understanding it correctly. So if you do 50 kilos for 3 sets of 5, then you move up to 55, 50, 60, 70, whatever. And then when you get to a weight, say you get to 80 kilos and you do 5 reps, and then you go 4, 3, 2, 2, you keep that weight until you can complete that workout. So yeah, it's just a static loading pattern, which of course is fine for novices. It's not really much of an issue, as we'll touch very briefly on. But yeah, some kind of loading would be good because it gets people into good habits. It gets them, like, just because you're a novice doesn't mean you can't do some kind of linear progression at the very least, like 10s and the 8s and the 6s and the 4s and the 3s, and recycle that, or like a 5-3-1 or something that varies intensity and varies volume in a cyclical fashion, because it's just going to get you into good habits later. Because when the flat loading stalls out, and believe me, it will stall out, you're going to be stuck for fucking ages. Whereas a varied loading pattern is less likely to stall, much less likely to stall. And a flat loading pattern will stall a lot faster, especially if you have any kind of experience. It's not a good base for anything other than powerlifting. If you want to take up weightlifting, there's nothing there. Power clean is not going to get you into weightlifting, because you're going to be doing it like a Mongo, because you haven't got a coach. You're not going to execute it with any kind of finesse. You're just going to do a jump and reverse curl, so it's not going to help with that. If you read the book, you're not going to be squatting like a weightlifter. You're not going to be squatting like most powerlifters. It's just not a very good base to get into anything for a sports program, unless you're of a very low level of strength. Like if you're an endurance runner and you just wanted to lift weights twice a week, then this might be an okay program for you. Just because it's a bit of general strength training, but there's no like unilateral work, there's no stability work, there's no rate of force development work, although we probably don't need to do that at a novice level. It's just, there's not really much going on for anything other than someone who's a beginner who wants to get into powerlifting. And it's just boring. There's no reason that your training has to be that boring if you're a beginner. The only thing, like, same exercises day in, day out will get tedious. Some people will like the tedium, some people will like it. But if you want to get into aesthetic development, it's terrible. It's a terrible program. I'm just going to put that out there right now. You're not going to develop your biceps, your back, your chest won't develop as well as it could, because you'll be just hitting one plane. Your shoulders are going to get very poor development because you're only hitting one plane. If you want to train for aesthetics, this program's absolutely terrible. If you want to train for powerlifting and you're a novice, or you just want to lift shit and you're a novice, it's not a bad program because it's got key exercises in it. But yeah, not necessarily something I would recommend someone to start with. I wouldn't say don't do it. If you haven't got a coach, you don't have access to a coach. The book is decent. The program is fine. It's a better starting point than no starting point. And just to finish, saying a program is good at getting beginners strong is like saying alcohol is good at getting teenagers drunk. It doesn't matter what kind of alcohol a teenager drinks. With enough perseverance, they're going to get blind drunk. That's direct quote from me, 2015. It doesn't matter what you do as a beginner. If you do it progressively and you do it, if you persevere with it, you have some attention to detail, you stick to the program, and you just go and lift weights, you're going to get stronger. It doesn't really matter what you do. You can come in and do whatever the hell you want. The fact that you're going to lift weights, you're going to get stronger for probably a minimum of 6 months up to a year, and even probably longer depending on what you're doing. I don't really have any programs off the top of my head that I would recommend over this for a beginner, because it doesn't really matter, if I'm being honest. You just need to get into the gym and lift, preferably with a coach. If anyone needs a coach as a beginner, you need to get off on the right foot. But if you haven't got an option of a coach, then you could do better than this program, but it's better than doing nothing. If I was to give this program out of 10 rating for a beginner, I'm going to give it 5, because it's there and you can do it. For an immediate, I'm going to give it 2. For an advanced lifter, I'm going to give it 1 out of 10. But then it's not targeted advanced lifters, so it probably wouldn't be. Probably not fair rating. But you could do worse, but you can definitely do better. Not really much of interest to say other than this is Mark, castironstrength.com, signing out. Thank you. Bye.